Patty. I'm so happy to see you.
Yeah, I'm happy to see you guys too. It's been forever. We were just catching up on that.
Yeah, it's been way too long.
Yeah.
But you look beautiful. I love the candles, and you're
Thanks.
definitely setting the right mood for this
Thank
conversation.
you. Thank you. As I said, it's rare that I'm home, and I've been home for so long that I've been spoiling myself in my own space, something that I don't get to do too much. So candles are part of it.
I love it. What were you going to say?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's depending on the topic. A candle could burn somebody.
And sometimes that's fun too.
So I want to jump. I mean, so a number of years ago, Patty and I were together at an event, and she was talking about how she learned how to give an amazing blowjob, and we were all having drinks.
But we probably need
the rebels of our group were having drinks late.
Correct.
I remember it was like a late night rendezvous of the rebels of the group.
Before we get too much further into this interview, we should probably call me Patrick for this interview.
Oh, that's probably a good idea.
Because I wasn't at the event.
Yeah, not you, Patty.
Oh, you call him Patty. Yeah, that's too many Patties in one room.
Yeah.
Mine's spelled with D's, though. Mine's spelled with D's.
I could say Patty with the D's.
Yeah, that doesn't roll off the tongue.
Never just Pat? Just Pat?
Yeah, I kind of grew up with Pat a lot. And then when Sam and I started like working together, it was Pat and Sam, and
that got weird.
Then it became confusing. You know, people are like, who's who?
And, are you Sam or are you Sam? Who's Pat?
So Which one? Just started using Patrick more and more.
Right.
And then Sam just started calling me Patty, which really threw a wrench into it. Confused. But I kind of like that. I like that. I like people trying to scratch their head on that one, especially if it's spelled properly with the D's. But if you put T's in there, then it really.
Because when you're having conversations, you're like trying to spell it. Is that?
Yeah, in your head.
But Patty with the T, no one says Patty. It kind of sounds with D's. Patty.
It does. It totally does.
That's true.
So.
What is your real name, Patricia or?
It's Patrizia.
Patrizia. Oh, I should have known.
Italian. Because I don't like Patricia. I don't feel like a Patricia. So I went from Patrizia to Patty.
Yeah, I like Patty.
Anyway,
okay, so I was with.
Anyway, get us back.
I was not with Patrick, but with Patty.
Yeah.
And we were having the blowjob conversation, and she whips out this letter or your notes. Was it a note taking while you were learning?
Yes.
Beautiful.
She's showing us now. She still has it with her. You carry
I said, look, it's been so many years. There's like food stains on it. Like, yeah, this is like been years.
Do you get that out and just kind of read through it, prep yourself?
Every now and then, yeah. Good reminders. I'm having parties. Do you want to hear what a great blowjob is like, people? And off it goes.
Nice.
Well, we want to know. And I remember parts of it. And I remember coming home and pleasuring Patty that way, giving you a blowjob.
You gave me a blowjob.
Did you just say you gave me a blowjob? As if that doesn't happen like every week.
I'm just
like,
teasing.
let's be honest. But do you remember that blowjob?
Here's my advice to any men that are listening out there. Never, ever, ever criticize or complain about the frequency of your blowjobs because you can only make it worse. It never gets better.
Well, I was thinking right before this.
Even joking, it doesn't get better. Like, that's bad. You're like, oh, if he doesn't think I do it often enough, I'm just going to stop then because I feel like I do it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just dug yourself a little bit of a hole.
I was explaining that. I did that for everybody else's benefit. It has nothing to do with you and I.
Okay. But I was thinking right before this, like, is there such a thing as a bad blowjob? And I know there is because I remember a girlfriend of mine telling me that she used a little too much teeth.
Yeah, that'd be it.
And caused a brazing, and his poor little penis. I don't know if it was a little penis.
You don't know about little, but never say that. Those two together.
Yeah, his poor penis was roughed up quite a bit.
Ooh.
So that probably wasn't, although he didn't tell her to stop. So, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, he probably even felt bad for all you know. But you know, it's funny. Hence, but even if you without the teeth thing, what I've heard from different men is they hate when it feels like a duty that you if you go down on him, just like if you were a woman, if you're gonna go down on me, you want to worship that area. You want to know that that's the fucking best place to hang out. Can we
Yeah.
swear?
Oh, you can.
Oh, you can fucking say whatever you want, Patty.
Okay.
We're talking about blowjobs for fuck's
Right,
sake.
right. So I remember a guy telling me, like, just fucking worship the cock. And I was like, all right. Because I would want him to worship my pussy, right? So you want to worship feeling, just to set that straight, because it puts you in the right place instead of it being like, I'm going to do it for him because I know he likes it and every guy likes it. It's not even about, yes, every guy likes it, like every girl. I mean, I don't know. I'm saying every girl. But, you know, ultimately, it's this idea of when he said worship the cock, that was big for me. That was a straight guy. That wasn't a gay guy. It was, I could worship my cock. I was like, okay. So then you don't get caught up with the technique as much as the intent behind going down there and enjoying it for its ability to penetrate your pussy portal.
You know, when we were texting about doing this and you said, I worship the cock, and I thought, I think I do too. You know, when I
Yeah.
go down on you, it's not like an obligatory thing. It's like, I want to go down there. I want to make you feel good. It turns me on to go down there as well. Like, I love seeing that big, hard man piece.
The wand of light.
Yeah, your wand of
The
light.
wand of light.
That's the
I love
tantra.
it.
What is that? The lingam.
Yeah, that's what it means.
In tantra, lingam is the word for penis, and the
Oh,
literal translation is wand of light. We just learned that on another
nice.
podcast.
Wand of light. I like it. I'm gonna
Right?
teach her.
Makes it sound very regal.
Yeah.
Very regal and actually divine, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah. And is the woman just the yoni or sacred yoni? What's the tantra for the woman?
Well, it's both.
Sacred yoni, but I don't know if we didn't learn what the literal
did.
translation of that is.
I did. I just don't remember it off the top of my head. I'm gonna look it up before this is over though, because that's
All right.
embarrassing. I should know that before I should know what my own means.
Well, you know.
No judgment here, baby.
No judgment. I know there's definitely the yoni word in there, which is nice. Anyway, for the tantra. But anyhow.
All right.
Regardless, we digress.
We digress. So tell us the origination of your notes.
So basically, it's actually two parts. I don't know if I told you the first part, but I had done this twice. I had invited gay men to my house to teach about blowjobs. The first time, it was kind of fun. I had 10 women and him, and we all had cucumbers. But it turned into a drunk fest. And so we don't even remember what we learned. You know, like it was fun. We were having wine, we were blah, blah. So it was a great thing, but I couldn't remember anything. And then I said, okay, I'm going to do this by myself so that there's no other distractions. And I'm going to have notes. And I called some other guys who were a little kinkier, because I wanted to kind of know, what about the kinky version in a way, whatever.
Yeah.
So they came over, and then that was a great meal. And I was like, oh my God, what? I didn't know that. So so that's what happened. So I had them over for dinner and just gave them the wine and let them speak. And there it was. And that's what kind of happened, because I was curious about their version and how, it wasn't so much about, like, the first version, the technique of the cock or penis or wand of light, as much it was all the other parts. And I was like, well.
Yeah. We were telling somebody about this interview, and he said, oh, it reminds me of that movie Old School, where they have like have you ever seen that? And they have like did exactly what you said. They had a party, and I want to say it was like a bachelorette party or something, and they get out, this gay man comes to teach him how to give a blowjob, and he's got these cucumbers, I think, or bananas. I don't know. I can't remember. But the thing that I remember most about that was he kept saying, mind the stepchildren, mind the stepchildren. He's talking about fondling the balls, right? And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Like, I don't know if I do that, So that I thought I learned a little bit of something from like that movie, but
Yeah.
what you've got going on, like I need to take notes again because I mean I've heard it once, but we were also drinking. So
We were
what I
also drinking.
remember, I think I went down to like my own Cliff Notes version in my head, but this is pretty involved. I think we got to jump in because we're
Okay,
gonna
let's
run
do
out
it.
of
And
time.
Patrick, every now and then I'll pause and I'll look at you for like, what
Reassurance.
are you feeling about all this? Like,
Okay. Probably the word is going to end up being horny, but I'll
oh
wait for you
no.
to ask.
I know. Oh my God, do we have a meeting right after this, or are we going to be able to? Am I going to be able to worship the wand of light?
So I'm glad you said that because the Sanskrit translation for yoni is
Is
source of life.
Source of
oh.
life.
It's
Ooh,
also a temple where the divine female essence can be honored.
Mhm.
So
boom.
it makes perfect sense.
That does.
Right. I've heard about the temple, but the source of light. Whoa.
Source of life.
Oh, life. Yeah,
Yeah.
life. Source of life. Wand of light, source of life. Got it. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
All right. So
Okay.
picture a little Filipino guy. I wish I could do his accent. Sometimes when I'm in that mood, or if I've heard it enough, I can go there. But I'm just going to stick to real good old Patty accent. But he was a little Filipino guy, and his boyfriend, which is this big, beefy white guy. So the two of them together, tiny little Filipino, big beefy white guy.
Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes. Okay. Vision. Yes. Image. So he starts by the first thing he said, because one of my questions to him, by the way, oh, it's coming. So actually, forget it. It's going to get to it. It's all written down. All right. So I haven't taken these out in a while. Here we go. Play with penis with mouth over underwear. Don't rush. So start with right over the underwear. Play with the penis. Hands, touch gently. Remove underwear with teeth and keep mouth rubbing skin. So and then you make sure as you're taking it off that you're still
love the
rubbing the
visual.
skin as you're removing the underwear.
Okay.
With your face and your.
With your face. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Then he said, wash the dick as wet as you can. And he said, the key is not to swallow any saliva. That was big for me because I always felt that would dry up. But he said, because you're swallowing, you're supposed to let it build up and just never swallow your
Oh.
own saliva. Let the water build up in your mouth.
Oh.
Right?
Okay. All right. That's a new thing.
You see?
Don't swallow.
How are
your
we doing,
saliva.
Patrick?
Good.
Wet?
Good. Yeah. All good.
Good. All right.
So far,
Then he
likes it.
said, wet pubic area. Put nose and nibble area, especially the mound above the dick and crease between the legs.
Okay. That's a good spot.
And when we were washing the dick, just so I'm clear,
Yeah.
like you're just drooling all over it pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
He at one point he references like a dog, full tongue wide, and wash it. Like,
and Patty, at this point, do you think that this penis is rigid or is it still a little soft?
I think
or does it matter?
It depends on the age of the individual.
I was gonna say it depends on the guy. I mean, he said wash the dick. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And then he says, just don't swallow. So that was key. And then wet the area. Okay. As it's, come whatever, your own saliva really at this point is what's making it, I guess, juicy.
And cleaning maybe. So I have this thing about prepared
beforehand.
Well, okay. All right.
Yeah. You want to make sure you're dealing. So
that is one of my rules. Like,
by the way, if
prepare
we're talking
the
about
area before any of this happens. Like,
yes.
if he goes and his balls and everything get so stinky.
Yeah.
So it'd be like we'd have to take him and wash him off, then put his panties back on.
Now, at the end of the day, honestly, so I'll revise that a teeny bit, but that's what the whole go slow thing is all about. That's where you're, kissing over the underwear and taking the underwear out. I mean, that at the end of that time period, there should be full arousal. So I don't think he's not suggesting that you go down there with Mr. Limpy and start slobbering all over it. I think I can imagine if I was a woman that it would be tough to to worship, a noodle.
But
sometimes you have to.
Oh yeah,
It can
sometimes you
take
gotta
time
give
to
a
get
little
there.
goose,
little
give a
noodle,
little.
and you got to go slow, and you got to,
Yeah.
I think guys are also under a lot of pressure sometimes to make sure they're like right away. It's okay.
Yeah, no,
kinda-
agreed.
Yeah, and they don't
Agreed.
need to be.
And stress
Really?
just makes everything worse. So
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
no
So it's
pressure.
like limp, hard, soft, wherever it is. Wash
Mhm.
it, nibble around there, nibble the, as he said, wet the pubic area with the nose, nibble the area, mound above the dick, the crease between the legs. We haven't even talked about too much dick yet, except for the washing part.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay. Then he said, lick balls first until they relaxed. So notice as you're licking them, that I guess drop and relax. Is that true, Patrick?
At an age now where they always seem relaxed.
That's what I was gonna say. They used to be kind of high and tight sometimes, but I haven't noticed that in a while.
There you go. This was many years ago. Yes, you're right. We'd have to just tickle, don't forget them. But he said, just lick it, lick the balls. And he said, especially the bridge between the balls. And then he said, nibble the ring around the dick near the base with a hard tongue. So the base, kind of nibble around there after you lick the balls.
Okay.
With a hard tongue around the bridge at the bottom there. What do you think, Patrick? We're still good. We're on
Oh
the
yeah.
right.
I mean, yeah, let's.
You like that?
Well, I mean, we defined this in the very beginning, saying that there are none of these techniques that aren't going to be a turn on. So
Right.
obviously, yeah.
Exactly. He said, circular motion upward the shaft of dick. Move dick in. Because I asked him, I was like, circular motion. But so he said, you move the dick and then you go up the shaft of the dick with the tongue. That was a tough one for me. Like
Like a like a
like a
ice cream
lollipop,
cone,
but
kind
then
of
the
like going
chin gets
all
in the
around
way.
it.
I don't know. Like maybe it doesn't matter that it does.
Okay. So like you're spiraling up
You're
the shaft.
spiraling. So you start at the bridge with that hard tongue, and
Yeah.
then you circular motion upward the shaft of dick. Move dick in circular motion with that while licking it all around.
Okay.
Licking it
So
all
kind of
around.
spiral up the shaft and
Yeah, spiral up the shaft.
But
Okay.
if it's, I'll just clarify that also. If it's awkward, like trying to get your head all the way around to do a full complete circle, I don't think it's intended to be. It doesn't have to be a full complete circle. I can
Right.
move in circular motions.
But the circular motion is kind of.
you could also just move the dick around and
Well, you don't want to be twisting that thing, like what you just showed.
Oh yeah.
not like this. Yeah, like a.
Oh shit.
You're not watching the video. That was good. Patty just did like a
Did a
cowboy
yeehaw.
roke.
Yeah,
Cowboy-
ride the
what's it
pony.
called?
Yep. Then
Lasso.
lasso, yes. When you reach the head, he said, give one big gulp and stay there. Now,
Okay.
I want you to understand because the next thing he says, move throat muscles only while in deep throat position. So what he did, I said, fuck, that's hard. And he goes, so he took a banana and he peeled it and he said, you're going to practice on this banana. I said, really? I don't know if I took, but he literally says, take it out, go in there, go to the end, and then feel the muscles there. I was like, really? So I practiced on the banana in front of them. And he said, ideally, that's what you want to do. So this is really dick size. Like you know.
If it's too big, that's a no-go.
Because I have teeth. His boyfriend didn't. He has like mouthpiece.
Dentures?
Nice.
So he said, he goes, the beauty of not having it is this is a good thing. I was like, okay, but I've got
He
teeth.
just takes his choppers out.
I swear to God, when he gives him a blowjob, his boyfriend, no teeth, he just goes down on him, and it's like fucking amazing, he says.
Oh, I'm sure. So have you ever tried this throat technique? Like, did it blow any guy's mind? Because that's a lot. Like, I feel like I get the gag reflex is an issue.
Right. So
Yeah,
hence
that's
he
what the
said to
practice is about.
practice on the banana. That's what he said.
But did you, when you've done that,
Yeah.
Patty, or
It
men
was
like,
smaller. I
wow.
couldn't do it on the big. There's just no way.
I'm trying to gauge how important this part is.
Let's ask Patrick.
I mean, if you've perfected
I don't think I've
a
ever really
technique,
done that.
if you've perfected your technique and you've never heard any complaints, which as you have and you don't, but it's not critical.
Well,
It's
I could
just something.
try.
It's something to try, right? And if you don't like
Right.
it, you don't like it. It's not a big deal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because part of it as the woman too, right? If you're gonna worship it, you want to enjoy what you're doing. But it's like anything; it's those muscles. I just didn't even realize that was possible when he was describing this to me. And I don't do it often, but I've tried it. It's really about the size. When I see, it's like I'm not even like I haven't been practicing enough with my banana to even attempt it on you.
Yeah, if
If
it's too big, you just go straight back to making circles. I'm sure
yes.
that he probably on the flow chart he probably would have circled back to that technique if the size had come up.
On the flow chart, yes.
Oh yeah, we could make a whole blowjob flow chart.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Not bad at all. I'll get someone on it.
Yeah, you should put that on your website. I bet it'd be popular.
Yeah. Then he said, so you're down there, you've gulped it, you're playing with your muscles. Then he says, when going upward towards head, hold skin down and suck in while going up.
Oh.
All right.
Okay. Then
I
he
don't know
said,
if I've done it quite like that, but I do sometimes,
There's a rhythm, apparently.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
yeah.
It's a
Got
good
it.
thing. If I could dance, I probably would notice whether or not you were in rhythm, but I can't. So probably all feels normal to me.
Right. All feels good. All feels normal. All right.
Okay.
Then he said, leave the dick alone. Now, here it comes. You spread his legs apart.
Oh, I think this is the part where I'm like, I'm not doing that. We haven't reached it yet, but I remember saying to you like, oh yeah, I'm not fucking doing that.
And here we go. I'm reading this. Spread. I haven't taken this out since we were together. And I didn't even want to read it because I didn't want to prep myself. I said, there's something fun about in the moment. Say,
Yeah.
oh, there.
Yeah.
Right? So you spread the legs apart. Oh, he said, right hand on his leg, left hand, pull the balls up gently, wet area. Oh, between ass and dick.
Yeah, it's a taint.
The taint.
Yeah, the taint. And then he said, nibble fold between the ass and the dick. So nibble that. So you do that. And then he said, and I remember the first time, my first thing was, how do I fucking get my head under there? And then he said, prepare a pillow, prop it up under. First he said, how do I get my head under there? He said this, actually, I remember that moment. He said, don't you worry. He's going to lift up and give you space. I said, really? And every time I've tried it, they do. He was right.
So as I'm picturing doing this, and I've done, actually this part I did do. That part I did because
Okay.
And it was, I don't remember if he lifted up or not, but I do remember wet balls on my face. Which wasn't like, because I'd already wet them, you got everything wet and you're doing this. It's
Washed it all.
Yeah. So yeah, I do remember that part. Like, well, this isn't my favorite, but I will tell you this, Patty loved that.
Yeah.
That was good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there is a time and a place too. If you've got if there's anybody out there that's grossed out about salivating all over everything, you don't technically have to do that if you've got a flavored lube or a lube that you really like a lot.
Oh, and flavored lubes. So we've been experimenting with different kinds of lubes.
Yeah.
They're kind of fun, because I don't love the flavor of the stuff that comes out of the Pat's penis, really.
Pheromones.
Yeah, or the aromas and stuff. Some people love that musty kind of that turns them on. For me, I'm like, I'm trying to love it as I worship, but the flavored lubes have been great.
Nice.
There's like a cupcake one and
Really?
yeah, and different fruits like strawberry
Well,
and
there's the whole drink line too. They have like a mojito kind and a pina colada kind.
That's awesome. Oh, goodness.
it gets kind of sticky, but it's still pretty if you use enough.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually either use coconut oil or olive oil because I love both of those.
Oh, the coconut oil, I keep forgetting about. We've done that a few times. I don't know why we stopped. Maybe because we were trying to experiment with
To
lubes.
experience the other stuff. Like it's just the right, and I like the flavor of it. So
Yeah, and it's natural. Where I don't know what the hell they're putting in these lubes to make it, the bubble gum flavored.
And it
We
helps
buy
me
the
stay-
organic ones, so
They are organic,
Yeah,
but
they are
still.
organic. And it just helps me stay moister in my mouth too, so I
Mhm.
tend to go with oil.
Okay,
But
that's a good
I've never
tip.
I have to try those and see.
Some of them are fun
Yeah,
for a
why
change.
not?
We don't use them
Just to
every
change it
time.
up, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Cool. So that's when I said, how do I get, and then he said, don't you worry, he's going to lift. And they did. And then he said, at that moment, when they lift, you take a pillow and you prep the pillow up so that he's not always pushing to keep it up there so he can relax. So you put the pillow under there and now he's prepped up.
That's also a technique I know for women too. Like when
Yeah.
the man's going down on the woman, like grab the pillow, shove it under there. So.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so keep going, Patty.
If you're
This
gonna
is
spend some
awesome.
time down there, the pillow's a big help for both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially as you get older, things are sore.
Right.
I was like, oh, my back,
My neck. God damn it.
What can we do so I can worship it properly? Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh. So prepare the pillow, pop him up, spread both legs again, push legs up with both hands. Oh, and then dive for hole with flat tongue like a dog. So yeah.
Yeah,
The hole.
the whole now we're to the part where I was like, yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah. No.
No, I don't I was taught never go ass to mouth.
It's a thing now, though. Everybody's.
But everybody, I know.
All the kids are doing it.
But I'm really old. So clearly, I'm old fashioned because everyone we know that's has these super amazing sex lives. I think everybody goes there that we know, or exciting sex lives. Maybe I don't know if they're.
I don't know.
Whatever, but a lot of people do it. I haven't been able to do that yet.
And I think part of it, the prepping and the washing is.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of that part too. Is to me is it's just extends out the foreplay part of it too. Because if you get if you're in charge of washing each other, you're gonna make sure everything's perfectly clean. And once you know everything's clean, lift the inhibitions. There shouldn't be any issues.
I don't know. I wash you every time, and I still go down there, and I'm like, whoa, that brown eye looking at me.
My understanding, my understanding is, well, when I've asked that question too with some guys and gay men, it's like with women, it becomes important, which finger you put in which hole because you don't want to mix because you're going inside.
Right.
So a guy just has one hole, so it's a little easier to navigate, I think, as compared to when guys don't know that when you're dealing with women. That's where I get worried. I was like, I like that you're going there, but make sure you remember which finger you're using because you're not going to come back up with that same finger.
Yeah, because we will get infections.
Yes.
Well, Ian's very clear about that in his book. Ian Kerner has a book called She Comes First.
Yeah.
Which is written specifically for men. Well, it's anybody that
or
wants
women, for anybody that wants to learn how to worship the
yoni with their tongue and their fingers and stuff.
Yeah, beautiful. So anyway,
so dive in.
We dive in. So we spread the legs some more. We actually lift the legs a little bit, and you go with a flat tongue around the hole, the anus.
Okay. So we're not trying to stick our tongues up the butthole.
Not yet.
Okay, not yet.
He refers to that later.
Okay.
Now it's just like a dog, a flat tongue. You lick it, stimulate it. Then he said circle hole with tongue, and he said combine flat and pointy tongue. So flat pointy,
Mhm.
flat, pointy.
Okay, got it. I'm still like worried about the butthole, but we can keep going.
And we're
Flat,
gonna be here
pointy.
for a while. I'm just telling you.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that there's more butt play in this blowjob because they're gay than if a straight man was giving you instructions? I'm just curious.
Well, I think because gay men are sexually like out, like they're willing to go there. I think a straight man, if
May or may not be.
may or may not be, depends on, but I think gay men, my understanding is, at least because I've been around them a lot, they talk very openly about it.
Mhm.
They don't want to suppress that about them because they've been shamed. So they're at, they're like,
Whatever feels good is on.
whatever. And then there's the prostate stimulation. Like they've all done that many a time, and maybe it is because it's just one hole. I don't know, but I think if a straight guy were to experience that, I'm sure he would enjoy it too.
Well,
They do.
let me ask you. I'm sure you've had some experience with straight men doing these techniques. Have you, Patty? And has anybody been like, no, don't?
No,
Go
they all
down there?
have. I mean, of all ages. Like, I mean, even at one point I thought, okay, he's an older gentleman,
Mhm.
maybe. No, propped himself right up there and said, whoa, that's good. Like there's just,
Okay.
I mean, I like to be touched there.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
No,
Oh,
I don't. I think I'm too uptight to let anybody try it.
We're working on that.
We're really working on trying to relax me, like it just in general in life, but sexually, like even
Right.
more. Like let me open sexually.
Right.
I don't know. I'm always like, oh God, don't. Wow, that's my butthole. Like.
Right.
So
There's a
but it's great to hear you say that you've tried with this with lots of straight men and they still love all the ass.
Yeah, there's not one that never said no, not one.
Yeah.
Like they
And
just, it's the nonverbal cue of, okay, it's good.
Oh yeah, up and in there.
Yeah.
I think Patty would like it because I do a lot with my hands down there. I just
Right.
don't get my mouth down there usually.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I hope my mother listens to this
to an extent,
podcast.
you use.
Or our kids.
We haven't gone the internal route yet. I'm gonna put it to you that way. And I can see how there's a lot of
It's good.
Yeah. What Sam's talking about is that there's going to be, some men out there that have been shamed into thinking that that's, crossing some kind of a line, which it just absolutely isn't. Almost every culture on the planet stimulates the prostate inside and outside. So,
and it's really good for you. It's really good for you.
Of course, gay men, there's absolutely no question. They've already been there, done that, like you said 1,000 times. And I think I told my cousin that, I was like, the older I get, the more I'm like, whoa, he's like, duh.
There's a whole world back there.
Exactly.
So
yeah. So yeah, but anyhow, and exactly. So let's go back.
Okay, keep going. Keep going. Just that was a little segue.
A little segue. That was page 1. We got two more to go. All right. Okay. Then he said, all right, so circle. Okay, so we were circling the hole with the tongue, combination of flat and point. Then he said, the circle gets smaller and smaller until bullseye. And then he said, do butterfly flick at the hole. So flicking like that butterfly
side
flick.
to side or up and down?
Both. He said up and down and sideways.
Okay. Ooh, I like it when Patty does that to me.
Me?
Patrick.
Oh, Patrick.
Oh boy.
All right. So butterfly the hole.
Flicks at the bullseye. A part of this was this whole description. It just made it bullseye. Now you go up and down and sideways, butterfly flick, tongue. Okay.
Awesome.
Then he said, stop. Big capital letters. Wait. Look into his eyes and lick your lips.
I can't wait. I can't wait for this.
This is really full on step by step.
Oh yeah. I wasn't
Yeah.
lying when I was like, no, she has like the
The
real
whole
deal.
thing. Yeah, he literally put the whole scenario in. I was like, okay, stop. Look into his eyes and lick your lips. I was like, ooh, that's hot. Then, with your index finger, roll around the hole and feel the folds. So now you've wet it, I guess. And now you do the finger fold, what you already are comfortable doing.
Okay.
Okay, good. Oh, goodness. Do you hear that?
Uh-huh. It's okay.
I did quit it.
I didn't realize you had to set a timer for this blowjob, but
Ding,
Ding, it's done. Cock is ready.
cock is ready. Now here, okay, his words. With finger, gently puncture the base of the hole, So with finger, gently puncture the base of the hole very, very tenderly. Then put your lips against the ass and push your tongue through the hole. So you push the base and try to get your tongue in there.
Whoa. Yeah, this is really past my comfort zone. I mean, I'm glad to have the information for when I loosen up and get less anxious about all this.
Yeah.
It could happen. I'll know what to do. I'll know what to do if I get there.
this is also not. I mean, I'm sure that there's people out there that might shoot me for saying this, but I don't really feel like any of this is 100% critical. I mean,
No, this is just supposed to be like the ultimate blowjob.
okay.
Well, again, this is this guy's perspective, right? This couple's perspective. Everybody has what they like, but it was more, my amazement was how much time. I wasn't expecting that. Same, I think we're still on the butt, we're still on the ass. Oh my God, when do we get out of there? And I think at the very end, it was like, whatever, then just go to, and you're good. At this, he was the complete reverse of the other guy, right? So maybe it's a perspective, maybe one was more for show and for fun, but really the magic is in the, but I've heard it many times about the magic being back there, but hey,
Sure.
So do what you will. Even if you just do a piece of it, if a guy's not used to that, I've noticed, it's not like I spend all this time down there, but the little bit I do, they're like, whoa, that's
awesome.
That's
awesome.
where I was just gonna go. I don't think it's critical to spend an uncomfortable amount of time down there to where you're not comfortable, but
But I also like it gets boring kind of just, if you do the same technique every time.
Right.
So I like that this has different ideas of different things to try. And there's a whole, new world.
Whole new world. Yes.
Geez, don't bring Disney into this or we'll get censored.
That's the Little Mermaid.
It's Disney.
Oh, we can't say that. Okay. Next. Please, we could say fuck, but we can't sing. I got it.
Patty, those are weird. Patrick, those are weird rules.
I know.
Globally.
Okay, keep going.
All right. So next, allow the folding snake tongue to start penetrating hole while entire face is buried, and pointy tongue while rolling head to get different angles. That's a whole paragraph. Did you see what I just read there?
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. But he said, bury your face in there and a snake tongue. I don't even know how, I haven't tried this one, but a snake tongue. You can imagine what that's like, but to bury your face in it. I did it. I remember the bury the face in, and I was starting to say, but I can't breathe. So I had to I can't breathe, back away.
Back out.
Back up, take a breath. Okay, go back in. Because you can't. You're like the tongue, you're exhaling a lot, and then you're trying to inhale, and then something gets, blocks the passage. Remember once that happened to me. It's like, anyway.
It depends on how relaxed you've made the balls, probably, on how well you can breathe down there.
Right.
And how low they hang.
Oh my gosh, it's going to get better. So that was a whole, just bury your face in there, snake tongue, pointy tongue, and go at different angles, just different angles of that hole with your face.
Got it.
Okay, next. Put him in doggy position while maintaining tongue in hole. I had to back away.
Yeah.
So he's on his back now.
And now you keep that, and you're supposed to indicate
roll over.
Roll over, Beethoven. Yep. But keep my head there if you can.
Okay.
I backed away.
Well, and I think Patrick is not a small man.
Ah.
And I'm
There's
a
going to be
small
an assist. This
lady.
guy was a
like,
little
this
guy.
is going to have to be
The
like,
guy that wrote this was a little guy with a big
Little
guy.
okay, yeah. I'll be like, okay, honey, time to, well, you'd have to be like,
Well, he'd have to.
Again,
so you have to
though,
roll yourself over. Yeah. Well, you start to indicate, and then you have to know it's time. You know,
okay.
Okay.
do it yourself.
Sounds
Exactly.
complicated.
I know, but hey,
He said, but
you asked.
full pun
Just like
intended.
You asked.
here we are. I asked, you asked. So you're now in doggy position. You ask, while you're in I just keep.
I don't remember any of this part. I remember
You
some of the
skipped it.
first
We were
part.
drunk when I was
But
reading it. And you were laughing, and we were still
Oh,
on
yeah.
the first spreading of the legs and go down. I mean, everybody stopped at that moment. Everything else was shut down.
Yeah, I
So
think we're like, okay, that's enough, Patty.
yeah, he's in doggy position. Your tongue is still in the hole. Then you take your hand, and you ask him to spit in your hand, and you masturbate him while your head is down there.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. And he said, if you're really gutsy, you take your hand and you go in his mouth and you scrape some saliva out of his mouth.
Or you can hit the lube or the oil that you have
Yeah.
next to the bed too.
Yeah, there's a good chance for a flavored lube because you know you're going to go there again.
We are older. Let's just get the lube.
Get the lube.
Lube. So you masturbating with the right hold shaft. Oh, so you masturbate him with so he said with left hand hold shaft with left hand, keep skin down, right hand is masturbating, and you're somehow still down there with your face.
Okay. Have you tried that, Patty?
Oh, look at me.
Patty hasn't gotten past the bury your face in there. She lost.
She lost breath.
I know I haven't done the rollover, get into there. I think, I would do this if I was like in a long-term relationship where you want to explore different, where you, okay, let's
Yeah.
try it. But
Yeah.
something you do when it's just a couple of times.
Yeah, you don't want to really get there on your first date.
Yeah.
It's not a first date or yeah.
What do you say we just skip dinner? I want to practice my new technique.
All right.
So he's on all fours, left hand on shaft, right hand masturbation. We've put lube and your nose. So you're down there, but here's what he said. With your nose, search for the hole and eat the ass and pull the nipples. Now you've gone to his nipples.
Okay.
Let's see. I wonder if I could even reach your nipples from if I got my head in your asshole.
All right.
Okay, keep going.
Well, maybe.
This is turning into a Cirque du Soleil freaking show, and I thought we were going to talk about a blowjob.
Right.
Well, some of the positions we've tried have felt like Cirque du Soleil. We're both like, oh, we're too fucking old for this one.
Yep.
Fail.
So you're doing this again, then touching the nipples if you can reach. And then he said, slap or massage the ass while eating his ass.
Oh, okay. So now you're spanking
it. Every now and then you spank it, you massage it. I've done that massaging thing. I mean, I like how that feels. So, but he's saying while he's on all fours, you could do that. Then you could do that.
Okay. Got it.
Got it. Oh, and then he said, you've got a body part that we don't have. He said, fuck him with your breast.
So put your butt. Oh, you put your.
He's
nipple.
on all fours. Your butt's there. You spread it, and you put your breast in there.
Oh,
and you fuck him with your breast.
Put your nipple right up his butthole, huh?
Right up in his butt. Pause.
So you told me to speak up. Again, maybe like you said, when you're in a long-term relationship and you want to just. I don't see Sam and I doing that without one of us start laughing, if not both.
Oh yeah, we will for sure be laughing.
Well, you threw that in there. The vantage point that you have is. Okay, I'm writing it in there. What the heck?
You wrote it down.
I wrote it down.
All right.
But you can try that, and then you'll laugh and maybe lose your heart on. I don't know. And then we got to start all over again.
Nice.
Back to page 1.
Back to page 1. Ah. And then again, put your finger in ass one at a time while stimulating prostate. So he's saying 1, then if you're 2,
Gotcha.
And on and on.
and on and on. Now, at this point, you turn him around so that the legs hang over the bed. Oh, so you turn him around and bring him down.
Okay.
And then you begin the blowjob.
Oh, now we are at the cock.
Now we're at the
back to the
blowjob.
cock.
We're at the cock, and this is where it got really very little, he said. He didn't get anything about a technique about how to go up and down the shaft, so, you could do with your fingers the elevator thingy. Apparently, there's the elevator on the ridge of the, that one, the elevator.
Is that on the head, Patty, or like
on the shaft, on the elevator, go up and down the shaft.
With your thumbs. She's
With your
using her
Your thumbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
The elevator, up and down the elevator.
I don't think I've tried it with both hands like that.
And then you could actually wash the dick if this was the dick.
We should have got you a cucumber, like a proper.
No, I should have. I should have brought a dildo where you wash the cup. You cup it. You wash the top. This is hand jobs more than blow jobs, so we're still on the hands. But anyway, so the elevator shaft, the cupping, you can tickle the balls, and then all that stuff. He said, suck 20 to 30 times. Okay. Deep throat once again. Let the throat do its thing. Kneading the butt and the cheeks while sucking and trying to stimulate the asshole back to there. And then he said, add dialogue.
Oh my God, what did he say?
Do you want to come? Do you like this?
Oh.
I think you should probably know by then. It's spending a lot of time. If he's like, not really.
No, I don't want to come. This is dumb.
Yeah.
Oh,
Joe's getting ready to come on.
That's
so see, that version was all about the butt, the ass.
Yeah.
Like very little time on,
the cock itself.
So, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, we read, or Sam read somewhere, or you studied another technique or something where they talked about, like the deep throat thing's fine, but a lot of people can't do it or are uncomfortable doing it. But you don't necessarily have to, because if you're good with your hand.
Yeah, you can sort of make it feel like you're deep throating by like putting your hand right up against your mouth.
Yeah.
I sort of like fake the deep throat. I let it go in there a little bit and then squeeze it with my hand.
Like, and then there's a whole nother thing you can do called grapefruiting.
Do tell.
Yeah, what's grapefruiting? Did you make this up? Or?
No, look it up on YouTube, because there's a hilarious video. It's a little bit gross, but it's hilarious. Where somebody shows you the technique, but it's another way. It's another way to make somebody feel like you're being deep throated, because they cut a hole in a fleshy grapefruit.
Oh.
Yep. So there's ways around.
I've never tried that.
I don't really want to.
That
would really get sticky.
Great. What about the sting? Like,
it would be fine if you're gonna finish.
Citrus might hurt your pee hole.
Well, that's why you keep it well below there. It's just taking care of the parts that it's taking care of the last, like,
the last part that you can't reach.
Yeah,
right?
the last 15 inches in my case.
The last 15. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do any of these techniques except for the butt part, because the butt's huge cock.
Yeah. And I think as an overall cock thing, I think a lot of women or people think that they need to go fast and hard. And I think sometimes the porn industry is trying to demonstrate that. But in my understanding, it's more slow and easy is preferred.
Yeah. I mean, there's been, so the tantric lingam massage, you spend a ton of time like all around.
Yeah.
And not necessarily even like, and if you do all of that right, you can come back at the end, like this guy's saying, and it's,
it's a quick.
Exactly.
I don't think it would even take 20 or 30.
Right.
If I did all that. I think it'd be like,
that.
boing.
Point, ready,
Spit.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All
And then
right.
sometimes and that's where when you get in tune with your partner, like, I think as you age, this is what I'm noticing is got like a couple of guys have said, it's like it's harder now because it's not the same like it used to be. How I used to be able to, like, once they start getting around the 60 age, like it's affected. So they're very self-conscious because they used to be like, no problem, go on for it. Now it's not like that. So there's a sensitivity depending on where you are at the age that you're at, I don't think it's as, obvious anymore. So there it becomes really, you have to be intuitive and maybe even have, whatever. I mean, a conversation,
Conversations.
about
Well,
it.
and I
So
think that's happening. I mean, with we had a conversation with another woman, Shari James, who deals specifically with ED and symptoms of that. Even if it's not full on, it never works, but sporadic, whatever, or
Yeah.
even porn induced, which happens. Where and she was saying that she's starting to see that in late 30s, as early as late 30s. Or porn induced stuff can happen in your 20s even. So I don't know that I don't think it's necessarily, just getting in the 60s. I think, even with Patty, he's had a few issues, and that was in your 40s, right? When it started, or maybe just when you turned 50. Again, it was like a short window of time, but still, like, it can happen for because of stress and all kinds of stuff.
For me, there was a vicious circle, and and some of it I read about now that there's like a normalcy that starts happening as you get. So one of the things I was reading about I found some step by step how to, give a tantric lingam massage thing, and I read it and then sent it to Sam, and but in there it says it's totally normal for while you're doing this, because this is like a 20 to 30 minute, like, worshiping the wand of light type massage, right? So, and but it says in there that if you lose the erection, don't worry about it. It happens all the time, and it's totally normal. But we're
Like when you're
conditioned.
edging, I guess, like when you try to get someone so close and then pull back, like you can lose
like
your erection.
and that's another thing I read about edging too, is that you might lose your erection, but it's not a big deal at all. But I've never in my life thought that that's not a big deal. In my life, I've thought if I lose it, then it's over, and then this is humiliating, and so and as you get older, that can happen sometimes. But if you're with somebody who's loving and patient, it'll come right back. So
Right. My apologies for the dinging, guys.
That's all good.
Yeah, I agree. So that was a big one. I thought I 100% agree that was a big one for what I've been noticing in the conversations with older men, in the sense that they're trying to be comfortable with that, and so you have to show up as a partner that I get it. Let's not put pressure on either of us, that you don't have to always get to orgasm and full ejaculation, and that it's that's all good. So yeah,
it's more about pleasure than penetration.
Yeah.
Patty, I just want to thank you so much.
My pleasure.
For coming on this podcast and educating everyone on some techniques of giving an ultimate blowjob,
which has nothing to do with the dick
which
at
has
all.
very little to do with the cock at all. Worshiping the cock in this version is a lot about everywhere else but the cock.
Everywhere else but the cock. I have barely spent any time on it.
And you've refreshed my memory on the things that I was unwilling to try before. I still feel a little unwilling, but that could change. That could change. I'm trying to become less uptight and more sexually open.
We can probably skip the part where you roll me over. I can tell you that right now.
That's good news.
That's good news. I love everything. Just don't bother rolling me over. I'm good with it. And that requires effort. I got to stay on all fours. I don't want to do that anymore.
Start working on my core.
Oh, but I love your openness and your beautiful spirit, and
thank you.
Privileged to know you and call you my friend. And thanks for doing this.
My pleasure. Thanks for making this fun.
Educating the world on blowjobs.
What's that?
I said thank you for coming on and educating the world on blowjobs.
Right, right. This was what they told me, right? So not even my own creation. It's me who was curious and
Nice.
spreading the love.
spreading spreading the legs as well as the love.
Yes, good.
Thank you
Thanks
for
again, Patty.
coming.
You're welcome.